Here we are with Jim Arrington, oldest pro bodybuilder in Guinness Book World Record, standing in front of the original Gold's Gym for some story time. All right, what's your story you were telling me earlier?
Okay, this story is one of the big turning points in my life. At the time, I didn't realize it, but I got some advice. Back in the mid-70s, there was Arnold and everybody else, but all of the everybody else's, Ken Waller, Mr. Universe 75, was the next to Arnold. And one afternoon, I got Ken Waller right here by ourselves, and so I could talk to him. And I asked him, Ken, what's the secret to bodybuilding? And he said, do what works for you. What? Do what works for you. That was it.
Now, let me ask you this. So you said you got him with, like, it was hard to approach the guy, or he was just always busy, or?
Well, yeah, when you're working out, you don't want to be around anybody else.
So did you approach him as he was leaving the gym or entering the gym?
I don't know. He'd been working out, then he was finished working out, so I could talk to him.
So you basically hounded him down and go, hey.
Do what works for you. So I've been trying all my life to figure out what works for me. And I kind of think I've had it down. This car wants to try to get in.
It's amazing. You can always honk, bro. If you honk, I can know you're backing up.
I didn't want to
interrupt okay. Dialogue, man. Okay, cool. Let's go. Right on, Big Jim.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, this was an important thing because I was talking to a top bodybuilder, and he was giving me some real advice that I didn't realize how right he was. Because I've been doing things that recently, as you might see, I'm a little bigger than I had been in some of my earlier shots, pictures. And the reason is I'm beginning to figure out what really works. Sort of like the Renaissance painter, Tintoretto. He said, I've been painting all my life. I'm 80 years old, and I'm finally learning how to paint. One of the greatest artists of all time.
Classic. Well, I mean, if you really think about it, Jim, that advice about, do what works for you makes sense because, I mean, look at all these magazine publications on working out, and they don't really keep an account for everyone's different body type, their different strengths, weaknesses. So, I think that logic could probably be applied to anyone in any craft, not just in bodybuilding, is find out what works for you, as in even finding the job that works for you, find a job you're happy at, then whatever job or hobby you do, find something that works the best for you and make it work your way.
And be goal-oriented.
Right on, bro.
Thank you, bro. Be goal-orientated, and that's one of the things that has worked for me. I never will be. I never was. I never had a chance to be a great bodybuilder because my bones are so small, and so there's just no chance no matter what I did. But I still wanted bodybuilding was what I wanted to do. And so what I did was, well, first of all, just wait everybody out till we either grew up.
Well, you're persistent, you stuck with it.
Right. and then this guy that I'm really indebted to, Jason Ellis, saw me down at Muscle Beach performing, and he had a guy in his crew, Leroy Colbert, the world's first guy with what?
21-inch.
21-inch
arms. Yeah.
And so he got us together, and we became good friends. And so that was one of the things. So the thing is that I put myself in a position where somebody would see me, and that's Muscle Beach was the place.
Of course. And what's amazing about that, like you said, I guess that could be one of your doing it your way is most people work out for a goal to get a better body or just to do it for a New Year's resolution, but you stuck with it your whole life, and you really didn't achieve fame, obviously, when you're younger, because like you said, you didn't really have the body type that can compete professionally with all these like mass monster bodybuilders that we have.
Right.
But you did it your own way. You stayed with it. You've been working out now for how many years?
Well, over 70.
Over 70 years you've been working out.
I'll be 78 in a couple.
Yeah, and so most people they give it up after, if they even make it a year. Most people give it up after a couple years, and you've been going that long, and then that's how you got yourself in the Guinness Book of World Records
Right.
as being the oldest pro bodybuilder doing it your own way.
Right, but you gotta have some help from your friends.
Yeah, but like you said, it's luck. Luck is preparing yourself for those moments. And you prepared yourself for that moment to be seen, and that's how things work out. I was, I filmed at Muscle Beach on their contest. I saw you, and when they said your age, I think at the time you were 78 when I first saw you, and I was like, damn, that guy's 78. That's crazy. So then I found out, I started Google searching, looking for you, and luckily you lived here, because like a lot of times at Muscle Beach, at the competitions, people come from all over the world.
That's right.
Because it's world famous and people want to compete there. And so when I found out you were living in Venice, I was like, no way. Actually when I Google searched Jim Arrington, I came up with a bunch of Jim Arringtons. But when I saw the one in right here in like I said, Venice is either Venice or Culver City or San Marco. I forgot which one came up. I called, left a message, and hey, a couple of days later I got a call back, and I found the right one, and then we started filming since then, and we, like I said, we made it into the Guinness Book of World Record Books, and in a couple weeks, you're going to reach the age of 88. Still training. He would have been in Pittsburgh if it wasn't for the pandemic going on, and he would have competed, but I guess we'll just have to wait till next year.
Right.
But it's still pretty impressive, Jim. All right, Jim, any other good stories we have, Gold's Gym, before we hit those other places?
Well, if there are, we'll fit him in over at the other places.
Okay, Big Jim.
MrYorkieLoverFitness.com